You're probably wondering how I got here. Hi everyone, it has been a while. Nice to see you. I have a lot to talk about. Where do we begin? So this was my last video. Kinda just stopped uploading from then, and I did partially explain that in the last update video. Last year. My bad. But I probably should explain what's happened between then and now, because there's a lot that's happened. A lot. So much. I think we should start with this fabled new channel that has been teased so much, and I swear is actually happening. Eventually. So early last year I started realizing that I wanted to focus on something which was more creatively fulfilling. Now I love making gaming videos and I love making theory videos, but neither of them feel like it's all I can give towards the channel or a video. Fun little tidbits on the side, so to speak. So I really wanted to make something that made me feel proud. Something that I could look back on in 10, 20 years and go, yeah, that's, good times. So I needed something that wouldn't only just be fun to make, but would focus on quality over quantity. Not only that, but I knew that whatever I did or focused on would not satisfy the constant changing demands of YouTube, because I don't really want to sell out, because selling out makes me feel like a piece of shit. So basically I wanted to start working on something that wouldn't just satisfy an audience, but would make me feel happy, fulfilled, like I'm actually doing something with my life.
Very dry lips. Like a above ground fish.
So around the same time, storytime videos and channels became inceptionally popular. Storytime channels and videos became exceptionally popular. And honestly, I was quite a fan, because I've always been subscribed to YouTube channels that focus on animation, and these were kind of like the balance of making animated videos, but minimal enough so you could produce them semi-regularly, and also ones that appealed to YouTube's demands. Sorry, every single time I mention YouTuber. Plus it was heavily focused on the person rather than weird shit. Unless the person was a weird person, which works out quite well. So I thought, hey, I've got some dumb stories to tell, I should probably try the same thing. But there's one minor problem. I can't draw. I've got an animation uni degree. 4 years of university for animation and motion capture. I'm pretty good at stick figures. So instead I considered something on camera just like this, with the awkwardly angled panels behind me. I didn't factor that in. There's also should be panels on the other side of the camera. Oh, my gel. So I thought, okay, just being myself on a camera, that's not gonna do much, evidently. So I could always factor in little animated bits around me. Hello, how are you? Get out of here, I hate you. And then the light bulb moment. And then a light bulb moment happened. Has anyone tried to combine live action story stuff with animated story stuff? Probably, but I don't know where they are. They're not popular, so clearly it doesn't work unless you make it something unique. Something ahead of the game. I recalled an episode of Film Theory I edited with Jax Films in it, and I decided to represent him with his massive forehead as a giant omniscient floating head. I don't know why. It just kind of made sense at the time. So I thought, why not get a live action head and put it in animated settings? Oh man, that's a good idea. And thus, Ahead of Myself was born. The name actually came after the idea, surprisingly. My mate Wes from Heart Mode suggested it, and I thought, yeah, that's absolutely perfect. Now, I said I wouldn't announce the channel before, like, the first video was done, and it isn't. But it's been changing and evolving behind the scenes for, almost 2 years now. I've scrapped numerous recordings, scripts, general ideas, and it's constantly being built over time. Often I'll just wake up at like 3 in the morning and go, oh, let's do that. And then I jot it down in a massive notepad, which now has like 50 something episode ideas. I've got plenty in the bank, but I've been very anal with it. Very perfectionist, which is coming from me, where I usually go, yep, good enough, send it off. I'm not a perfectionist, traditionally. Or maybe I just give up really easily. Nevertheless, I'm trying to build it into something that I'm proud of. which is probably why it doesn't exist. So yeah, sorry to kind of let you down, but I did announce it, so you know what's happening. Just not when. But I didn't just come here to tell you that my new channel doesn't yet exist. I came here to show off my sausage. It's a dog, not a penis. Oh, the camera? You see it? Lovely. You look magnificent with your many chins. This is Toby. He's an arsehole. I now live in a house of assholes. It's around June last year. I inexplicably decided to go on Tinder. This is coming from the person who values his alone time more than anything ever. Barely hours before I was considering deleting the damn app because everyone was Chloe Dogface. Someone contacted me and they agreed with everything I said. Overly chubby. Kinda likes Palmer too much. I forgot the rest, and considering how reluctant, introverted, and generally picky I am, I didn't bloody expect to meet my soulmate. And I don't use that word lightly, I genuinely mean it. This is Aria. Here. She's beautiful, she's stunning, I don't know who the fuck this is. This is my girlfriend of over a year now. That's how long I haven't fucking updated this damn channel. Her name is Aria, she's incredibly lovely, she's a fucking meme queen. And she's probably the best thing that's ever happened to me. Genuinely. So for most of the second half of last year, I was spending more and more time with her, and just getting happier and happier. Later that same year, her rent was almost up in a shitty, tiny apartment, so I made a massive move and moved out with her. Yep, I've moved out of my parents' place at 24. Oh, little late, but considering the state of the economy and how the fucking boomers have destroyed it. She's currently telling me to bathe before I record this. You can't smell anything. I can. So for the first time ever, I'm an adult. I've moved out of my parents' place, I've got a full-time job, and I finally have my own study. For once. Thank fuck. Don't have to record in my bedroom in my parents' place anymore. So over time, things massively changed. Yes, I'm chubby again. To be fair, I moved from one house where the most we had in the cupboard was old lentils to a house where I could buy whatever I wanted. And I took advantage of that too much. Yes, there's a Woolies cake with a spoon on the counter, don't judge me. But I also cut out soft drink entirely, so that's a good start. I say entirely, I still have soda water a lot. But it doesn't count because it's just static in a bottle. So squishiness aside, we decided to get a dog. Good and a bad decision, kind of made me go insane. Barely even joking with that one. I'm not good with children-like things, as you can probably tell. Where's the goddamn money? I will throw you outside of the universe! Oh, she did. And he still shits inside, even though the door is open, Toby. You're almost a year old now, you should be shitting outside like a good boy. Plus, I'm also living with a cat after never having lived with one. The last experience I had with a cat was 20 years ago and it scratched my arm. But this cat is the laziest bastard I've ever met. He's just desperate for food all the time, even though he hasn't eaten for a whole 3 minutes. So he's an asshole, but as far as cats go, he's very low on the asshole spectrum. He's also relatively pacifistic, if that's a word. So the dog relentlessly bullies him. You're a dick! So yeah, I'm living in my own place with a lovely girlfriend, a stubborn sausage, and a lazy, fat cat who is fat. It's actually pretty great apart from the adult responsibility part, which is the primary reason why the new channel is in kind of a limbo situation. I've been fully focusing on game theory and film theory to the point where it's beyond a full-time job. What little spare time I have, I want to spend with my girlfriend, obviously, or Dan, who is still alive, by the way, and getting married in April. Yeah, married. It's weird, isn't it? While I absolutely love editing, it's bloody hard to have a passion project that's also editing, because the last thing I want to do with editing after editing is edit. I've said that so many times before, but it still sticks. Like, finally finished. 12 hours of editing, 2 minutes. Better edit. So every so often I still get the motivation to focus on the channel and edit and everything, but I know that if I forced myself to work on this channel, it would start feeling like a job, and that's the last thing I want, unless it pays well. This is also why the #1 channel is kind of also in limbo. I just don't have that massive drive anymore because I'm so focused on self-preservation and not being broke. And of course, when I do have the time and the will to edit, I don't want to make high-definition shit posts. I want to focus on this brand new passion projecty channel that I can actually feel really good about. Instead of like, I made a character say something backwards. Funny, you know? That's mainly why the channel doesn't exist yet. But I'm starting to take steps to find a proper balance. My main focus now is getting more time to handle ahead of myself. I think about the channel so incredibly regularly, but I hate that I have no time or drive to fully focus on it. Hell, I took an entire month off last February due to burnout, and I did basically nothing towards the channel. A whole month! To be fair, burnout. Editing burnout. Makes sense. I'd love to take like a whole year off and fully focus on this new channel, but So I'm mainly focusing on trying to find a balance. Then I can finally bring this beautiful bastard to life. And in the meantime, the Sedge channel will still remain an archive. I do plan on making it essentially like the side channel to Ahead of Myself. So everything that goes on here is kind of like stuff that really doesn't fit on the main channel, but I still want to show, or like behind the scenes things maybe. But I'll try and leave every other video up, like the highlights and everything, because I still love them. And you guys can still go back and watch them too. I'm still making YouTube poops whenever I'm in the right mood. There's actually like 4 that's in development right now, and one of them will definitely come out early November, but they're still going to be very few and far between because I've had one day in the past 5 months where I was actually motivated to edit one, which was yesterday, actually, and I almost did a full episode. Pretty good. But YouTube poops aren't a priority, they're more just like a silly outlet, and I do feel bad, of course, because I have so many subscribers on that channel, but it's memes. There's plenty of meme sources around. I'm not the only one. And as for Ahead of Myself, I'm gonna finally get started properly. Iron out the issues, finally get this green screen issue solved, and get started. I'm debating what to make for the first episode. The one script I've tried to make over the past few years, months, whatever it's been, is okay, but I'm not too confident about it, so I was thinking of something a little unique, a little different, but I probably should solidify which episode I'm actually gonna make before I start it. When will it release? I can't say, but I do really appreciate your patience for all 5 of you who've stuck around. Sorry for not doing anything for ages. I've just been absurdly busy. I know that's always the same excuse, but it's true. I've just been focusing on life stuff, being an adult. As you can probably tell by me having my own fucking play, I still can't believe that. But there are fewer things more difficult than finding a proper balance, which I'm still working towards. Just stick around a little longer, your patience will be rewarded. And of course, you can still contact me on Discord, Twitter, even in the comments here, really. I always check them on a pretty regular basis, so I'm still here. As a matter of fact, how have you guys been? More importantly, where have you been these past few year and a bits? Let me know in the comments below. I'm interested to see what everyone's been through this past year and a bit, good and the bad. I guess better wrap it up. Thanks for watching what will probably be the last update channel as just Sedge. See you wherever the future holds. And I'll try not to make you wait more than a year and a half this time. Bye for now. Oh, the off button, yes.